Today on Tom's Tech Show, we are creating security groups in AWS with PowerShell. Welcome to Tom's Tech Show. Today we are creating security groups in AWS using PowerShell. This is part of a series of AWS and PowerShell videos that I'm doing. I did find that out in Amazon and in other sources, it was very difficult to find complete commands, complete sets of commands that you needed to do. It was kind of a hunt and peck, guess your way through. So I'm making these videos based on all the information that I found. Hopefully it will help you if this is what you're looking for. Okay, so we need to create a security group in AWS. Those are used to limit people from accessing instances and networks. They're also there to allow people to access instances, networks, and load balancers, different things out in AWS. Okay, so the basics up here, what I've done is taken everything that we need in the script that I have here and kind of built those into variables in the top. So if you want to use this to create some security groups or integrate this into your own scripting, all of the variables that I use are here on the top of the script. So we have the first thing which is important, which is our import module, which is the AWS PowerShell.NET Core. I am working on a Linux box, so we're using PowerShell Core, so we need the AWS PowerShell.NET Core version to load with that. And then here we need to just get your access key, secret key, put those in here in these values. We also need, before we can do anything in AWS, we have to set what region we're working in. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's get to some specific things for creating groups. I have a list of ports that I want to be open to users, and I put those into a small array. So I'm just going to use 443.80 and 8443 in my example. Then I have a set of ports that I want to restrict just to a specific range of networks. And my restricted range that I have here is just going to be, for this example, 172.001/32. So I need to give my group a name, and I need to give my group, have my VPC ID where I want to create this group. So we have our AWS area that we're going to be connecting to and the region, and then we also need the VPC that we're going to place this security group. Okay, so the first two things we do to connect is set our AWS credentials and set our default region. Now we can go right ahead and create our new EC2 security group. And that's, we just need to pass it a few parameters, our group ID, group name, our VPC ID, and I'm going to give it a description here just for convenience. Now this command returns just the VPC group ID. There are other commands in AWS, you run them, and it brings back a whole object about all of the details of that object. Like you want to get an EC2 instance, get the information about it. It doesn't bring you back just the instance ID. It brings you back the networks and hard drives and a lot of tags and everything that come along with it. With security groups, however, it just returns the group ID. Okay, so first thing I want to do after I create that group, I want to start by adding tags. I typically tag every resource that I create. One for my own organization, and two, if you do billing in your company, you're billing a third party, you have services that you're selling to someone, then you want to be able to have the cost of AWS to add it, factor into that billing. Your accounting people will want that. So we need to add a billing tag. Now, just because I named this tag billing does not mean that it's going to automatically be showing up as billing. We have to go into our AWS account and select a specific tag to be used as a billing tag. And I'll make another video on that. That'll be the next couple of days for how to do that. But I'm going to tag this one billing tag with just infrastructure. This is just part of our setup. So, and then we run the command new ec2 tag, creating this new tag. We're going to put it on our resource, which is the VPC group ID. We only need to pass it the ID, and we're going to tag it with our billing tag. So we have our name and our billing and our security group, so that's all ready to go. Now, typically when I set these things up, I'll do this. I'll create that array up in the top of the values, and then I just loop through those values and add them to our group. So I'm going to do a for each loop. So for each object, basically in my port list, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to create an EC2 model IP permission object. And that object has a few things in it. It has our IP protocol that we're going to use. It can be TCP, UDP, ICMP, or the protocol number that you're going to be communicating on. Typically, it's going to be TCP. Then we have our from port and our to port. This can be set as a range of ports that you want in. If you want to let in a huge, like it's a telephony thing and you want every station to be on a different port, then you can allow a range of ports. But for this example, we're going to be using one. And then our port object here, the IP ranges we're going to add is just everything. So all zeros /0. Then we do the grant EC2 security group ingress. So this is going to be an incoming group value. So the group ID, we give it our group ID that we have from before, and our port object is going to go for the IP permission. So as I loop through these, it's going to add each one by one as we go through the loop. So we're going to do the same thing for the restricted range. So for each port in my restricted range list, I'm going to make a TCP protocol and the same to and from port, and then here it's going to be the restricted IP address. So now I'm creating them, but I'm only allowing connections from my restricted IP address. And then we just do the grant EC2 security group ingress and give it those values. Okay, so let's switch over to AWS and see what we have here. Okay, so here is, I'm going to refresh this, make sure there's nothing else in here. So here we have inbound rules and outbound rules. This is the default security group that's here in AWS. We probably don't want to use this one because I want to have specific groups for the specific functions that I'm doing to maintain security. Okay, so here I have my script. I'm going to pull it up here, and the create security group. This is a live script. I've actually added my access key, my secret key into this script, and we're just going to run it. We're going to have it go out and process this and create. Now it's done. So that's pretty quick as opposed to doing something clicking around in AWS. That was pretty fast. So I come here to my security group, so I'm going to hit refresh here. Now we have the my access group here all created, and you can see here my inbound rules are port 80 open to the world, port 8443 and port 443 are all open to the world, and port 23 and port 3389 are limited to the 172 range. So my outbound rules are typically set to all traffic. That's default when you create a security group. So if you wanted that to not be there and only have incoming traffic, you would have to go in and delete that. But here we have my tags. I have my name set as my access group and billing set so that I can do my billing reports all right there. Okay, so that's how you use PowerShell to create security groups in AWS. My name's Tom. I'm here doing my little show called Tom's Tech Show, and I do videos like this on AWS and PowerShell and networking and computers and security and anything to do with my regular day job in computers. And I also do some movie reviews, and I do photography videos. Basically all the things that I like, I make videos on. If you like all those things, then subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any. And if you get a chance and you like this video, click the like button. If you have any comments or any other ways that you create security groups in AWS, make a comment down below. Thanks for watching.